Hi, my name is Yvan Roy. I'm an assistive technologist with the Crombie Center for Student Support. Today we're going to talk a little bit about universal design and more specifically how to create accessible Word documents. So first, what is universal design for learning? Well, universal design for learning, or UDL, is a set of principles and techniques for creating an inclusive learning environment and accessible course material. Essentially, its core meaning is what's good for one is good for all. So the principle behind this is that if you can create materials and documents that are accessible to everyone, people with visual impairments, learning disabilities, that it doesn't just benefit those people, it also benefits the general population as well. So today's video is going to focus on Microsoft Word and how to create a universally designed document. So what is a universally designed document? Well, they have a clear and consistent structure. They are easy to navigate. They give information in multiple formats. And all of this will improve the overall readability and comprehension of the document. To create an accessible document, the first thing you have to look at is the layout. How a document is laid out affects its overall usability. Visual formatting, such as color, spacing, font size, font style, will affect how a document can be read. Other things, such as if your information is chunked into small sections, it makes it a lot easier to remember and retain the information, as well as comprehension of the document. Visual formatting, so font size, font style, color, spacing, will all affect how easily a document can be read. Here are some tips. Avoid using multicolored text. People that are visually impaired or have color blindness find it very difficult to distinguish between colors. Therefore, having a lot of different colors in your text is not very beneficial to them. Use colors that offer a high contrast, such as black on white or black on yellow. Avoid overly ornate fonts or fonts that look like script or handwriting. Fonts such as these are very difficult for people with visual perception difficulties to read. Also, it makes it difficult to scan in these documents using an OCR software, as OCRs will not recognize these types of fonts. And of course, use a font size that is large enough for easy reading. Anything below 12 point is not recommended. One of the benefits of using Microsoft Word is that it has a tool built in that allows for the application of styles with one click. Using this tool will ensure consistency in the look and layout of your document, and it creates navigation points for use with screen readers. People with visual impairments that use screen readers such as JAWS use these navigation points to quickly get through a document. It allows them to skip from section to section rather than line by line. So I've talked about using Microsoft styles. So now I'm going to show you how to use them in this little demonstration video. Here I've got a document that requires a little bit more work. I need to identify what are my titles or what are headings, and a lot of the times people will just use a bold and maybe just a font size change just to identify this as a title, and then they'll go down and choose something a little bit different for a heading, so maybe they'll bold that and make it a smaller font size. And what that does is it makes it really difficult to maintain consistency. So when you get to your next heading, you got to try to remember, okay, what font size did I use? What did I actually bold it or not? And that makes it really difficult to keep track of what you've used within your document. So I'm just going to undo this, and I'll show you how to use the styles that are built into Microsoft Word. Now the styles in Microsoft Word are very easy to use. All you have to do is figure out, okay, this is a title, and then you go over here and you choose that this is a title, and then you can just click on it and you'll see that it adjusts your font size, your bolding, even color. And then you can go down and figure out what's a heading, and then you'd say, well, this is a heading level 1, and then you can just maintain that consistency throughout the whole document. And as you can see, once you've completed the document, everything is the same. All the spacing is exactly the same, the font size are exactly the same, the colors exactly the same, and it maintains a lot of consistency throughout your document. So I'm just going to finish up putting it in all my headings here. So I'm just going to set all these to level heading 1. And once I'm done, what I'll do is I'll zoom out and you'll be able to see the consistency in the document. You'll notice that all of the spacing between the sections are the same, the font colors are the same, and everything is very, very neat and very easily to read. Now what this has also done is added navigation points for screen readers to quickly jump from one section to the next. Rather than going down line by line, a screen reader can actually will be able to skip from one section to the next, which makes it a lot easier for those with visual impairments. Another thing this does is it allows you to quickly create a PDF file, and once you've created the PDF file, those navigation points will actually carry over onto the PDF file as well. So from here you can just create a PDF file, and now you've got a very accessible PDF document as well. Images are a great way for quickly relaying information. That's if they can be seen or understood. Students with visual impairments or visual perception difficulties need additional information to help them understand what an image is trying to convey. An easy way to make an image accessible is to add alt text to an image. Tables are another great way to present information, but like images, can be very difficult to interpret for those with visual limitations. Here are some tips for making tables accessible. Give the table a title. A title is a good starting point, and it gives the reader a little bit of information as to what they can expect from that table. Keep tables as simple as possible. Maintain directional consistency within each table. So if you're starting off going right to left or left to right, ensure that the entire table is in that form. If you're going top to bottom, then ensure that the entire table is top to bottom. When captioning a table, summarize the table's significant information clearly. An easy way to make a table accessible is to use table headers and to ensure that they're labeled as such within the software. Putting table headers in a logical order. Using clear and concise names for the table headers. So I've talked briefly about how to make pictures and tables accessible within a Word document. Now, naturally, pictures will not be read by a screen reader unless you make some quick modifications to the image. And it's quite simple. All you have to do is right-click on the image, go to Format Picture, click on Alt Text, and then you can give a quick, succinct description of the image itself. Now the description here I've used is Crombie College logo, color. And basically I can do the same thing for the black and white image. Format Picture, Alt Text, and now I've written Crombie College logo, black. Once I've done this, I can click Close, and now my image is now accessible. So now that our images are accessible, I'm going to show you how to make a table accessible. Here I've got a small table, store hours of operation. You'll see that I've included a title, which is outside of the table. If you do not include an outside title, you'll need to ensure that it's included within the alt text of the table itself. To include alt text, you just right-click on the table, go to Table Properties, and click on the Alt Text tab. Now here, I've added the title within the title field, but all you need really is the description. Now your description must be fairly detailed but not overly detailed, just giving you a quick information on what the table entails. Once you've done that, you've basically added accessibility to the table. Another thing you're going to want to check is the reading order of your table. Naturally, the English language will read from left to right, and a screen reader will do the same. One way to check is to quickly just tab over and see in which order your table reads. That's something that you're going to have to think about when laying out your table, is to ensure that a screen reader will accurately read the information. Another thing you're going to want to do is identify the header row within your table. A header row is basically just the title of each column, and a screen reader will identify that as the header row. The way to add the header row within your table is to just click on the Layout tab and then click on Repeat Header Row. And what this will also do is if your table spans over several pages, that header row will be on the top of each page. And there you have it. We've just made a table fully accessible. Here's some additional tips. When using acronyms, they should always be defined upon first appearance. Avoid using slang, jargon, or ambiguous terms that limit universal understanding. For example, a student with a different cultural background may not always understand a figure of speech. Hyperlinks to websites should always be described to let the user know where they'll be directed. So make sure you use a plain font, use a font size that allows for easy reading, and pick a text and background color combination that offers high contrast. If you have any questions regarding accessibility or assistive software, you can contact me via email at ivan.roy@cameroncollege.ca or at extension 7433.